Hello guys, it's Lulu and this will be a rather more important video that I'll be posting on my channel. And please excuse the laggy slash low quality GTA online racing gameplay videos. I just had no other way to put these videos on here. I pressed the share button to record the videos, then I would send these videos to my YouTube channel privately, then I would go back on my channel on my phone to screen record these videos and just edit them here on iMovie, and this is how it came out. I'm sorry about the quality, but that's not what the problem is. I am here to talk about the withdrawal symptoms that I had to deal with ever since I quit smoking by going cold turkey. And no, I did not smoke cigarettes. I smoked artificial flavored e-cigarettes. That's what I smoked. I like to smoke those things better than cigarettes because cigarettes for me tasted nasty. But still, these artificial flavored cigarettes was pretty bad enough, you know. I think it was worse than cigarettes itself. But the thing that got me so addicted to these things is the flavoring, of course. Every minor teenager got really addicted to this. And the day that I went cold turkey and quit smoking was on September 5th, 2019. And now I believe it's January 9 or 10 of 2020. It's been well over 4 months since I've quit smoking. And the withdrawal symptoms for me stopped after 3 months of quitting smoking, basically on December 5th. Because I was just so addicted to it that it just lasted me longer. So if you were a person like me who was addicted to nicotine and went cold turkey, it would usually last for 3 months because your brain chemistry would at least have to take 3 months to return back to normal after you quit smoking. So first of all, I will mention the list of symptoms that I had to deal with. Then after that, I will tell you the reason why I quit smoking. And after that, I will tell you all the vaping brands that I had throughout the 2 years that I was smoking these things for 2 years. Now, first off, let's start off with anxiety. Now, anxiety is the worst symptom that I had to deal with these withdrawal symptoms because every symptom I would feel, I would just get anxious because I just didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I did not know these things would happen after I quit smoking. I thought by quitting smoking, I'll be okay, I won't smoke anymore. I know I will be craving it, but what's the worst that could happen? It's just quitting smoking. And I just had no clue what was about to come in for me after the third day after I quit smoking. And the third day after I quit smoking was when it started it all. I felt something that I wasn't used to and I got anxious, and all these symptoms just got me anxious because basically your body's just returning back to normal, and your body was just so used to nicotine that your body was just starting to go crazy for nicotine. Your body's like, oh my god, fuck, where's the nicotine? Please take a hit, and your brain and your body's just telling you to get nicotine in your body because, you know, you were basically functioning from nicotine. That's how addicted you were. And your body was basically just readjusting itself back to normal. So it's normal to feel this stuff. My second symptom that I had to deal with was irritability. I was just so irritated by these symptoms that I had to deal with. It was just nonstop, and it was a living hell, especially with anxiety. It was, terrible. Now, my other withdrawal symptom was headaches. I rarely got headaches, like 1 or 2 headaches weekly. I was just more worried about myself than headaches because of the anxiety and all the other symptoms. Depression got into me during the first days of my withdrawal symptoms, and I was just depressed for no reason. You know, I wasn't depressed for anybody. I wasn't depressed for an ex. I wasn't depressed for like anything, you know. I was just depressed just because, you know, part of the withdrawal symptom process. Those were the physiological. I just mispronounced that word. Those were the physiological symptoms. Here we go again. I'm sorry. Those were the symptoms. One of the first symptoms that I felt. Now we're going to the physical symptoms that I had to deal with. First off is heart palpitations. Now, heart palpitations got me so worried because every time I would feel a heart palpitation, I just feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. And that just got me thinking. Every time I would feel heart palpitations, I would think I would die right on the spot. But no, your mind is just messing with you. You're not gonna die. This is all normal. Your mind is just playing games on you, you know? Your body's just readjusting back to normal. So heart palpitations won't kill you. They are harmless, and it is normal for any human being to feel, you know? Some people do suffer from heart palpitations. But if you suffer from heart palpitations for like 5 days in a row, then you might need to seek a doctor. It's always good to seek for a doctor, you know? I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I had to end up in the hospital twice because of my anxiety, because I don't know what the hell is going on with me. And the doctors told me I was fine, nothing's wrong with you. They checked my lungs, my heart, my intestine, my liver, everything inside my body was just fine. They even did an EKG on me, freaking ultrasound on me. Everything was fine. They did everything and I was fine. I went to 2 different hospitals in my city, and both the doctors told me I was fine. Nothing was wrong with me. It was normal to feel these things. Next up is muscle tension. Now, these muscle tensions got me worried too because, you know, I've been researching a lot about these symptoms, and every time I would read something off of Google, like, I would get even more worried than how I was, you know. Muscle tension just feels like your muscles are shutting down on you, and it just makes you feel like you're gonna have a heart attack. But no, it's normal to feel these things. It just feels like your muscles are squeezing and they feel sore at the same time, you know? And it was just irritating to just feel that almost every time. Those were one of the symptoms that bothered me a lot. Next up is tightness in the chest. Now, I hated those because I didn't hate them. I just worried about them so much because I would feel like I would die right off the spot. But right on the spot, I mean. But again, it's normal to feel this stuff. And with that coming along came difficulty breathing. Every time I would have like tightness in the chest, I would also have difficulty breathing, and it was just not nice to just feel that. But again, I was just so freaking addicted to these things that once I quit smoking, went cold turkey, my body was just readjusting back to normal, and it was going crazy. It was a hell of a... Oh my goodness, these symptoms were a living hell. I tell you that. Tremors in the hands and feet. I would usually feel those when I'm panicked, you know, when I'm like scared for my life. Like sometimes when I would have the fear of death. I even had the fear of death. That's how scary these things were. And I would usually have those tremors on my hands and feet. Another symptom that I felt was panic attacks. Now, the panic attacks was one of the worst as well, next to anxiety. Panic attacks make you feel like you're dying, like you're gonna die. But no, panic attacks don't kill you, and it just makes you numb every time you feel a panic attack. And it's pretty scary. These panic attacks are pretty scary, and it's not pleasant to tell you. I'll tell you that. Nausea. I only had that once. Nausea, I did not throw up. I threw up very little, you know. That really didn't get into me that much. Yeah, vomiting and diarrhea, I didn't have that at all during my withdrawal symptom process. So that's basically all the withdrawal symptoms I had. Sorry if I stuttered a lot and mispronounced words a lot. And now I'm gonna move on to why I quit smoking this. Now, one night, on the night of September 5th literally just started. It was the middle of the night. I was playing on my PS4, laying on bed, playing some Doom 3. I had my vaping device and my synthetic weed cartridge with me. I would take a hit off of the synthetic weed. Then after a few minutes, after I was high, I would start to feel sober. But then again, I took like 3 big hits off the thing. Then like 5 minutes later, after I took those big hits, I feel something coming. as I'm laying down in the bed and playing the game. I feel something coming, I pause the game, and I try to feel what's coming up to me. So I stood up from the bed, and right when I stood up from the bed, I literally felt like I was about to pass out, and I felt like I was about to fall on the floor, like, but no, I stood up, and I was trying to feel what was going on with me. And then just came this wave of energy from head to toe, and it was a wave of energy that I've never felt like. It was this terror that just came inside me. It just made me shiver. It just got me so panicked. And that was literally my first panic attack that I ever felt on the middle of the night. And I just didn't know what was going on. I did not know what a panic attack was. So I just didn't know what was happening, you know. And I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. And then during the panic attack, I grabbed my vaping device and I threw it out of the window. I even talked to it and said, "You're the one who's like messing me up." I don't even remember what I said. I was like, "This is the thing that just fucks me up, you know?" So I threw it away, and that's how I went cold turkey. That's how I quit smoking. And also, I threw away the weed cartridge as well, the synthetic weed cartridge. And I also threw that away. And also, I kept the battery that I smoked it with. But then after a few days, like a week, I threw that shit away as well. And yes, that's how I quit smoking. I also quit smoking weed on the side because I want to live a healthier life after what happened to me, you know. And, I tried to smoke weed again, like actual weed, not synthetic weed cartridge, BS, whatever. And I smoked the bud, and it just got me into another panic attack. And weed just didn't satisfy me anymore, so that's why I quit it. And I feel pretty good after quitting, you know. I feel like I made a good change in my life, and I just feel like I appreciate life more than how I did before after I quit weed. So it's pretty good to quit weed, you know. Some of my friends that I used to smoke with got unfriended with me, but that's okay because I changed. I don't know. I wasn't a loss of words there, but yes. And also, I forgot to tell you guys all the brands that I smoked throughout the 2 years. So first off, I used to smoke other people's vapes, you know, like those big ass coils with those big ass lithium batteries, you know. I started off with my cousin's vape in Puerto Rico. So I took a hit off my cousin's vape, and then I felt buzzed for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, what the hell is this? Did you drug me?" And like my cousin was like, "No, nigga, that's nicotine." And I'm like, "Wait, nicotine? What is that?" It's like from cigarettes, but you know, vaping for, I don't know. It was such a long time ago that I just don't remember what actually happened. But I was excited by it because it just got you high for a minute, and you just smoke it again, and you just feel buzzed for like a minute or two, and that just got me excited. So then after that, I also went to parties and I tried other people's jewels, you know, with the mango pie. I'm like, this is pretty tasty, you know. And after a few months after trying other people's vaping products and shit like that, I got my very own jewel that I bought from my friend for like, what, 30, 20 bucks? I don't know. I bought mango pots and fruit medley pots, but I mostly bought mango because I think those were the best jewel pots. And I got tired of the jewel after a few months because the pots kept leaking into the battery, and it just got me pissed. Not exactly pissed, but I would just get annoyed by it. So then the next vaping device that I would have was the Fix. Now the Fix was like a jewel, but more fatter and with a different shape, and the pots were even bigger than the jewel pots themselves. They were bigger and fatter. Literally the only flavor that I would smoke from the Fix was strawberry. I was astonished. I was amazed by that flavor because it was a flavor that Joe didn't even make. And that strawberry flavor tasted just like this candy that I used to eat when I was a kid that my mom would buy me like this plastic cockroach that would have this liquid strawberry candy inside the cockroach's abdomen. Then I would unscrew the cockroach's head because that's where the candy came out, and I would squeeze the cockroach's abdomen to put the liquid on my tongue, and it just tasted so sweet and sour and so strawberry-ish that the pod tasted just like that, and that's how I got amazed. But then I got bored of it after a few months of using it because I just kept smoking the same flavor over and over and over and over and over again until I just got bored of it. I had a vape tongue and I just got bored of it. So then after that came the Stigs. Now the Stig was a really small, portable, disposable vaping device. You didn't have to charge it or any of that. You just bought a new one and it would just come pre-installed, like pre-charged with juice already ready to go right off the box. So it was packaged in this plastic wrap and came with 5 different flavors, which was Lush Ice, Tropical Mango, Iced Mango Bomb, Mighty Mint, and Tobacco. I only smoked 4 of those flavors except tobacco because I think tobacco is like freaking nasty and I really didn't like those. But my favorite one out of all of those was Lush Ice. I also tried the other flavors that I also liked, but Lush Ice was my favorite. Then, after a few months, after Stig was trendy, because Stigs were really trendy when they came out. They were trendy for like 2 or 3 months. Then after that came the QVs. QVs was a Stig alternative that had way more flavors, and with each flavor they had a different color for each device that you would have. And they were the same thing. It already came charged with vape juice inside of it with a different light on the thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Stigs, every time you would take a hit from a Stig, it would light up on the bottom with a blue light. And with QVs, it lit up green. So, I don't really remember which flavors I had from the QVs. By the way, the QVs had really concentrated nicotine and they were sugary tasting as well with 5% nicotine or 6. I think it was 5. It didn't go over 5, which is 6%. It was the same thing as Sticks. They had concentrated nicotine with a really good nicotine rush, but at the same time, they were really fucking bad. QVs. I had blueberry, strawberry, grape. Man, I really don't remember if I had any other flavors from QV, but those were the 3 best flavors that I can think of that I used to smoke. I liked them when they came out. They were like trendy for like a month. They were really good and they were kind of hard to find. I would have to like get a plug to buy QVs because they weren't even in vape shops. So what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and some of those people that had QVs, they were popular because, oh, you have a QV, they don't even have that at smoke shops, and they would get like all the attention and shit. But yeah, those were QVs. They were trending for like a month and a half until they finally came to the smoke shop, and people stopped smoking them somehow because they came to the smoke shop. And then after QVs, then I had puff bars. Now, puff bars were really neat. They had this new design to it, and they had the name of they had the name of the flavor like the QVs had, but like a more basic way they did it, you know? They would have each flavor with different colors as well, just like QV. There were 2 different versions of puff bars. They had white tips with rounded white tips and flat black tips. I had both of those versions, and the flavors that I had was blueberry, strawberry, Lush Ice. Now, yes, there was Lush Ice on puff bars as well. The Lush Ice was way better on the puff bars than the Sticks because you can actually taste the watermelon, not like Stick that was more minty and frostier than puff bars were. I also had raspberry, blue raspberry. Those were really good, but at the same time, they were really bad, and I was so badly addicted to it with 5% nicotine. I also had watermelon with it, and that was the the last vaping related device that I had. I also forgot to mention that puff bars were disposable as well, like the sticks and cubies, and they came preloaded with vape juice and charged already. And every time you would buy a new one, you don't have to charge them. You know, they were the same thing as sticks and cubies. But yes, those were all uh, the vaping devices that I had throughout the 2 years. And if you're still smoking these, I highly recommend you to stop, because really, they're really freaking bad. There was already over 55, yeah, well over 50 deaths from these things. And especially among teenagers that had lung collapsations, and the Florida teenager that had a freaking tube stuck up to his rib cage, to his lungs, because he almost freaking died from, the jewel. He had a jewel and he almost died from it, and he had black dots on his lungs. Imagine what you're doing to yourself when they found out about that on that Florida teen. And when I found out about that, I was still a smoker and I just didn't even care. I just kept smoking. But thankfully, I stopped somehow and live a healthier life now. So please do yourself a favor and stop smoking these. They're not worth it. And I know it can be hard to stop, but I know you can stop. I believe in you if you're trying to stop and quit once and for all. So do yourself a favor and just motivate yourself on other things, and just leave that somewhere else. Throw it away. Don't smoke it ever again. And yes, don't let the temptation of your cravings or anybody else that's smoking around you get into you. Do not get tempted by it. But anyways, if you did stick throughout this whole video, I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up if this really helped you, if you're dealing with this nicotine withdrawal symptoms, and if you're trying to quit. I'm trying to motivate you to do this, and trying to make you not worry about your symptoms. And yeah, please subscribe. I already mentioned that. But as always, guys, have a blessed day and peace out. See you in the next video.